form loads feature in the Unbounce listener pushes information into the data layer every single time a form loads on one of your Unbounce pages. This is really cool because you can understand not only how oftentimes a form is submitted, but how many times it's actually viewed, and you can send that information across all of your marketing and analytics platforms. And particularly for Unbounce, this is pretty powerful because it allows you to effectively track all of your landing page variants and the activity without having to fully rely only on the analytics inside of the Unbounce tool, which is useful analytics, but it is definitely limited. So in this case, we've just loaded this page. I'll reload it. And we have the debug view open from Google Tag Manager. But I'm also going to look at the console. And what we'll see is that we received an event here in our data layer or in our Google Tag Manager messages called UB form loaded. And that's coming from this data layer push, which is coming from ListenLayer. You can also see that information here directly in the console. Now, the cool thing about this is not only are we pushing the event, which can be targeted for triggers inside of GTM and collecting information and data, but you can also grab all of this dynamic information that we've populated based on the form and the landing page itself. Most importantly, you can see the Unbounce values. You can identify the page using the ID, the one that you see when you're editing the page inside of Unbounce. You can see the variant. You can see whether that variant is set as the challenger or the main. You can see the name. All of this information can be collected into an analytics platform. And so, for example, you could send an event to Google Analytics on every single UB form loaded, and you could actually track direct impressions by variant. You could fire a virtual page view, for example, if you're using Universal Analytics, or you could just set up a custom event with its own parameters inside of GA4. In Universal Analytics, you could also just use the traditional events feature. In addition, you can write powerful rules inside of ListenLayer to push custom values into your data layer. And that's a feature that I would recommend digging into so that you can really take control of your overall analytics.